Hello friends, we are back again. Thank you for coming. Today I'm making this beautiful dress, and the materials we are using, as we are using a pair of scissors, a crochet hook. I'm using a 5.5mm hook. You're going to need a tape measure. You're going to need stitch markers, and I'll be using 4 pieces of yarn. Choose a different color. So to begin our work, we are going to chain 60. I'm making a 0 to 6 months old 3D dress. So go ahead and chain your 60. I've chained my 60. Go ahead and add one more chain to make it 61. And we are going to work in the second chain of the hook. We are working half double crochets. Please go ahead and put 3 half double crochets in the second chain of the hook. Okay, this is the first one and this is the second one. So go ahead and put 3 half double crochets. One, 2, and 3. Skip the next chain, this one, and put 3 half double crochets in the next space. One, 2, 3. So all this round is going to be in half double crochets. Skip one, and in the next one put 3 half double crochets. So you're going to continue like that, skipping one and putting 3 half double crochets in the next chain space. I meet you at the end of the row. We've come to the end of the row. You count the groups of half double crochets. They should be 30. Chain 1, join your other color like that. And chain 1, chain 2, 1 and 2, working over this blue strand. You're going to put 3 half double crochets in this space, the first one here. After these 3 half double crochets, the first space here. Don't forget we are barring or working over this strand, the blue one. Put 3 half double crochets. This 1, 2, and 3. Then we are going to interchange like that. We are going to be using these colors interchangeably. So after you drop the yellow, you join in the blue like that and put 3 half double crochets in the next space right here, in between the 3 half double crochets you made. Just 1, 2, drop the blue and get the yellow. Again, put out 3 half double crochets in the next space right here. Working over, don't forget to work over the other strand, the blue one. So you're going to be doing that up to the end of the row. You're going to be working over the yarn you've dropped. In this case it's the yellow I've dropped. So you join the blue and working over the yellow strand still behind, you put 3 half double crochets in the next space. Continue like that. I meet you at the end of the row. I've come to the end of the row and I'm finishing up. So what you're going to do is put a half double crochet in the last stitch. Just like that. We are going into the next round. You're going to chain 1 and turn your work. So this time we are using only the yellow color or whichever color that you joined in. Next, you turn your work. We are not using the blue, so or the color you started with, you're cutting it off. Chain 1 more and put 3 half double crochets in this first space right here. 3 half double crochets in this first space here. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and put 3 half double crochets in the next space right here, but make sure you work under these yarns you see over here. One, 2, and 3. Continue like that, putting 3 half double crochets in each space till you reach the end of the row. I've come to the end of the row. You will finish up with 3 half double crochets in this space that we made. The first 3 chains we made here. Put 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So we are getting to the 4th round. You turn your work, then join in the blue color, the blue yarn once again. Okay, and tighten it up. But we are working with a yellow color, so bring it in, chain 2, 1, 2, okay, and put 3 half double crochets in this first space here. Don't forget we are working over the blue one too, the blue strand. So go ahead and put 3 half double crochets. Drop the yellow, grab the blue strand and put 3 half double crochet in the next space. Don't forget to work over the yellow strand. 1, 2, and 3. So we are basically repeating round 2, this one, where we are interchanging colors, okay? So go ahead, put 3 half double crochets, continue like that, interchanging the colors. I meet you at the end of the row. Come to the end of the row and we are finishing off. Putting a double crochet in the first stitch here. Oh, sorry, half double crochet. After you chain 1, okay, then we are turning our work for the next round, and we are putting 3 half double crochets in this very first space with this blue color. On this round we are not using the yellow, so please continue putting 3 half double crochets in each space. Don't forget to bury these yarns or work over these yarns like that. Make sure you work under them. Don't forget we are not working over the blue yarn. We've dropped it, okay? Continue. I meet you at the end of the row. I've got to the end. I'm getting to the end of the row and I'm finishing up with half double crochets, 3 half double crochets in the first chain of 2 we made here in the previous round. 1, 2, and 3. We are at the end of our 5th row. We are slip stitching in the first double crochet that we made. And at this point is where you're going to need the stitch markers. So we are forming our arms, chest and the back, and we are counting 12 from this very first stitch here where we've slip stitched. Count 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, and put a stitch marker in the 12th stitch. Then count 22 starting from the next stitch. 22, put a stitch marker in the 22nd stitch. 22, and this is our first armhole. Starting from the next stitch after the stitch marker, count 22 again and put a stitch marker. That will be our chest. Starting from the next stitch, count 23 and put a stitch marker in the 23rd stitch. That is our next armhole, second one. And then the rest, it should be 12 from the stitch marker up to the last. So we've slip stitched, chain 1, put a single crochet in each of the 12 stitches. This is our 12 single crochets. You can pull out your stitch marker, and then we are forming the first armhole. So go ahead and chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is after you're going to join it at the stitch that is after the stitch marker, this one right here. Pull out the stitch marker So that is our first armhole. Put a single crochet in each of the next 21 stitches, and that falls at the where we marked our stitch marker. Go ahead and put a single crochet in that very space. Pull out your stitch marker. That is our chest. So we are forming another next armhole. You chain 6, and join it where our next stitch marker is. That is after skipping the 22 stitches, and then continue with putting a single crochet in the remaining stitches. Slip stitch in the first single crochet we made. At this time we are joining our other color, the yellow. You can go ahead and cut off the blue. You're not going to use it for quite some good time. Working in the back, chain 1. Working in the back loops only. This is what I mean by the back loops only. This is the first loop and the front loop, and this is the front loop. This is the back loop. Working in the back loop only. Put 3 double crochets in the same space. Chain 1. Put 3 more double crochets in the same space. Skip 2 spaces, 1, 2, and in the third one, do the same. Put 3 double crochets. Chain 1. Put 3 double crochets in the same space. So you're going to continue like that, skipping 2 chains, and in the third one, working in the back loop only, you put 3 double crochets, chain 1, and put 3 more double crochets in the same space. Let me meet you at the end of this round. I've reached the end. I've reached the end of the row. You're going to realize that there is 3 stitches here. Go ahead and skip those 3 stitches and slip stitch in our first chain. So to go to our next round, you're going to chain 1, slip stitch in the next 2 spaces, 2. We are putting 3 double crochets in this space here, and I'm going to show you how you do it so as not to create a line or a joining line. So you put a single crochet in the space like that, then you go under this stitch here, pull out a yarn and pull through. That is our first double crochet. Put 2 more, okay. Then in the next space, still put 3 double crochets. So you're going to continue like that, putting 3 double crochets in each space around. I meet you at the end of the row. The end of the row, so finishing up with the last space here. So go ahead and slip stitch in the first double crochet we made, this one right here. Again, I'm showing you the technique I use. You see how it's seamless, it doesn't show where the work started from. Slip stitch in the next 2 stitches, that's 1 and 2. Then we are putting 3 double crochets in this space. You are going to put a single crochet in the space like that. Then under this stitch, the second one of the hook, 1, 2, go under it, pull the yarn and pull through the 2. That is our first double crochet. Then put 2 more, 1 and 2. In the next space here, put 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3. Continue and make more rounds of this row until your work measures 7 inches, starting from here, the yellow skirt. Continue until it measures 7. I meet you there. I've come to the end of my 7-inch skirt. Now we are joining the blue color for our next round. So we've joined the blue yarn and we are putting single crochets, but this time not in the normal way like this. Instead, we are working it this way, like that. The next single crochet, like that. The next one, the next one, this is how the front should look like, and the back of your work should look like that. Okay, so please continue doing that, 1 single crochet all the way around, and we meet at the end of the row. The end of the row, we slip stitch in the first single crochet we made right here. Okay, and working in the back loops only, you're putting 3 double crochets. We are using the invisible joining technique. So in the back loop only, put a single crochet, and in the second chain, a second stitch here of the hook, you pull through 1 strand and pull through that 2, then put more double crochets, 1, 2, skip 2, skip the next 2 stitches, and in the third one, working in the back loop only, put 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3. Skip the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, in the back loop only, 1, 2, in the back loop only, put 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3. Continue like that, skipping 2, and in the third one putting 3 double crochets. We meet at the end of the row. This is the end of the row. Slip stitch in the first double crochet we made, like that. Chain 1, slip stitch in the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2. We are putting 3 double crochets in the next space. So continue putting 3 double crochets in each space around the end of the row. Again, we are slip stitching in the first double crochet that we made. Okay, chain 1, slip stitch in the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, slip stitch, and this is where we are going to join our yellow color. If you had cut it off, please join it. If you had not, like me, just pull it up, not so tight so it doesn't disorganize our work. Join it in like that. Working over the blue strand, we are putting 3 double crochets in this space. Technique. That is our first double crochet. Put 2 more. So we are interchangeably going to be using this color like before. So this is where we join our blue, and in the next space you put 3 double crochets, working over the yellow strand. Then drop the blue and join the yellow. Drop the blue and join the yellow, and in the next space put 3 double crochets. Continue like that. So we are basically repeating row 2 that we made at the beginning of our work. End of the row, we are slip stitching in the first double crochet we made. On our next round, we are using only yellow color. So you join it in and slip stitch in the first space, slip stitch in the next 2 spaces, 1, 2. We are going, using our technique, we are building a double crochet. So put 2 more double crochets in the same space, and continue putting 3 double crochets in each space around. This time we are not working over the blue yarn, okay? And we are slip stitching in our first double crochet. Go ahead and slip stitch in this our first double crochet. Okay. This time we are going to use both colors, blue and yellow, interchangeably. So I guess by now you know what to do, but in case you don't, let's continue. You chain 1, slip stitch in the next stitch, slip stitch in the next one, okay, and then we slip stitching in the first double crochet we made. Like that. On our next round, we are going to use only the blue color of yarn, and this time, so please go ahead and join it up. And this time we are not working over the yellow strand, so you drop the yellow strand and continue with the blue color. So go ahead, chain one, and the next chain here, slip stitch, slip stitch, slip stitch again in the next chain space, in the next space, sorry, and put 3 double crochets in this space right here, the first one. And go ahead, put 3 double crochets in each space around. Don't forget to bury these yarns here, work over them. Do not interchange colors, use only blue color. Let me meet you at the end of the row. You can go ahead and cut off the yellow yarn. We are not using it anymore. I'm finalizing with the round. Slip stitch in the first double crochet we made. Chain one, slip stitch in the next chain, slip stitch in the next chain, so for our next round we are repeating the previous row. Okay, we are putting 3 double crochets in each space around using the same blue color. So go ahead and put 3 double crochets in each space around. We are here finalizing the row, slip stitch in our first double crochet we made. Like you can see, you can't tell where the work ends or starts, so that's the advantage of our technique. We are starting our last row. You slip stitching and put a single crochet in the same very space and put a single crochet all the way around your work. Don't make it too tight. So I meet you at the end. We've arrived at the end of our work, so you're slip stitching in the first single crochet that we made. Slip stitch, chain one, and cut off your yarn. So that marks the end of our work, please. So in the ends, and then I show you how our dress looks like. So you will go ahead and if you wish to put a single crochet around the neck, but if you don't, it's still fine. It looks fine to me, just like that. And that is our final work, whether you can see that.